Hi guys, this is War, and we're back with another episode of our Unity 3D introduction. Now, in the introduction, I explained what a game object is, what a cube in this quad or plane, which you should go back to because there's some really good information on that. But I wanted to explain a few other things because what I'm going to explain is the idea behind a mono behavior, which a mono behavior is a scripting class from the library of Unity Engine. And you're like, what is Unity Engine like this? What am I talking about? Inherits. And that is where we go into scripting. Now, up here at the very, very top, using, see all these? Using Unity Engine. Well, let's see what happens when we go using Unity Engine and we just go goodbye. Just delete it. Whoa, we get all this red in here. We got a public class, and now this is red. Mano Behavior, the game object. Oh, wait a minute, we have a game object. Okay. Error, blah, blah, the name game object does not exist in the current context. What? Just by deleting that? Now, here we go. Mano Behavior, Mano Behavior. Class in Unity Engine. Well, let's see what happens using Unity Engine. And then we dot. Everything's back to great. These are what we call namespaces. They are like, I would consider them like a library card. Now, there's a few if you did scripting someplace else, like link collections. Collections is a good, it's more of if you're trying to use what we call arrays. They do not use lists. You have to do collections dot generic for a list. But we'll get to that. Now, in these classes, there will always be variables. They're usually at the top because they're permanent. They're always going to be there. So we use permanent ones. Now, you might look at all this and be like, what's all this? This is just crazy. This is actually one of my simplest scripts that I'm making. My other one that's a lot more complex is this one. And you're like, whoa, what's this? What's all this? This is crazy. Why is this in yellow? It's okay. It's fine. You just have to build yourself up to it. And that's initially why you're watching this. So let's dive in here. This is what we call a variable, okay? And you'll have variables that are from public. You see all these, they say public. Well, let's go into it would be item throw right here. Notice it's a game object. There's a box collider. Great physics from a primitive. That's what we call a primitive. And box collision, just so I can throw the object, which is really cool, and I'll show you. Now this gun bag, this is the script that you will be, not yourself writing, but you'll write scripts like this. This name has to be the same as the class name. If it does not, it will give you an error where it does not exist. Now, you see this name B, game button, and rig, all variables. And these are, we have game object, which you should be familiar with, but you're not going to be familiar with this string. Now, a string is nothing but text. Blah, 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 blah. Right from the typing. That's all it is. Nothing complex whatsoever. Now, you might be like, this is different from the box. Yes, it is. It's a game object with a box collider. A script, which we'll get to writing script. And then a rigid body. This uses physics. And it will do exactly what I want it to from here. If you ever want game objects to just fall on the ground, not do anything from the scene, you just turn on gravity. And now it's perfectly set on. Now, you see how it's on the plane, like right on top, and this green part right here is the collision. That's what stops it from going through stuff. If we have no collision, it just boop, gone, goes through everything. That's not what we want, but it serves its purpose. Now, and it's called a rigid body. Now, anytime that you're going from a game object, you have to name it. This is what you'll be using to do something. Now, you see how I got game spawner dot master dot weapon spawned weapon equals this dot name? Don't be alarmed. It's fine. So, and then I'll have custom names. But the problem with these variables, and you might run into this, is what if they're not public? What if they're just this? It's fine. We'll go up here and save it. And name B. This little circle thing will pop up. And it's a compiler. And you can't push it. Oh, look, it disappeared because it's no longer a public field. So an inspector, what this is called, an inspector window, it will not show up because it's not public. So there's also another thing. You can go private. And it will not show up. Still. Compile. Come on. And it still doesn't show up. Yep. See? No showy. But it's still there. Public. Now we have this on enable. This script is enabled. And you might be like, what does this mean? Well, you see this print script was enabled? Well, if we go into Unity, that's what this console log is all about right here. This will give you error messages, and I will actually display that now. Let's just take this and go bloop, and save. Go into Unity, compile, and we get errors, and it will no longer play. Fix compiler errors before entering play mode.